Some of my fans ask me, do I write music for myself or for others? And I always found this such an interesting question. I think first and foremost, I compose for myself. I actually compose and write music many times to save myself. At times of my deepest despair, deepest loneliness, darkest moments of my life, when I feel that I have no more hope left. And that is the case with You Are My Land. I composed You Are My Land when I was feeling so devastated with what was going on in my country. I was feeling so hopeless, so afraid, so upset. But every time when I go through a moment like that and it brings me to the piano, I always ask myself, how can I share the message of unity through what I feel? I was literally in tears when I composed You're My Land. Tears when I was on the piano, writing this song that I felt nobody would hear other than myself, about how sad and devastated I was with what was going on in my country and watching my country crumbling down. Watching something that you love so dearly crumbling down. The arrangement for You Are My Land was greatly inspired by Rachmaninoff's composition, Moments Musical 3. And you would see this in the arrangement of the piano, those deep chords of the piano. That was greatly inspired by Rachmaninoff. And the opening string section, that was something that I visualized in the film that I had in my head when I composed this song. I was really inspired by a Persian piece of music that had a beautiful and extremely sad string opening intro. And I was telling my producer Jeff that we absolutely need to set the tone of the song and tell the audience that this is a song that is extremely beautiful but also extremely sad. When I first met Jeff Bova at Raleigh Studios, we spent about 3 days going through my demos and all the musical references that I have kept and used. These were demos and songs that I composed that I felt represented who I am as an artist, and I wanted to very strongly showcase the fusion of East and West in a very cinematic pop style. It was interesting that I actually did not play You Are My Land for Jeff. After we listened to all the demos and it was the end of the third day, he was asking me, is there any more songs that you would like to share? And I was like, no, not really. I think that's about it. Anything else? Are you sure? And I was like, well, there is this one song, but it's really short, so I never thought of playing it for you. And he said, okay, come on, let's hear it. So I played for him You Are My Land, and instantly Jeff was like, this is your sound. This is your single. The whole album should be built around this song. And the thing is, he was right. It's just that the song was just so personal to me, and I felt so vulnerable and afraid to share that with the world. And that was when I had to ask myself, that's the most important thing that I need to share as an artist. I remembered what my cello teacher, Carl Bognuda, told me, that as musicians we carry the responsibility and of the ability to alter people's emotions, and we have to choose if we choose to alter it positively or negatively. So we worked on the arrangement for You Are My Land, and the mood of the song was how I envisioned in the movie in my mind. After a war has occurred and it's completely empty, and there's just broken rubbles and buildings torn apart, and it's just silence, the deafening silence of death, and the sound of wind just echoing and footsteps. And that was the setting that I wanted to portray in the music. And it starts with beautiful string arrangement and this strong low piano chords in the bass. I am really, really passionate about the message of unity. I believe that unity is the future, and I believe that unity is more important than ever today.